everyone. Welcome back to RTS and welcome back to another segment in our organizing photos because I'm going to do a sorting photo session. Yes, because some of my subscribers asked me when I go to sort photos, could I show a little bit more about that? And that's what I've been working on for the last couple evenings as my hubby and I watch a movie or baseball, you know, that type of thing. And so my brain cannot handle just doing one thing at a time. I'm so bad for that. And so, of course, when my hubby wants to watch a movie or something, I'm always like, okay, what scrappy thing can I take? Or sometimes I'll sit and crochet, things like that. And so then also it's fun as we're watching the movie or a baseball game. When I come across photos, sometimes we pause the movie or the ball game and then we talk about the photos. So, you know, it's just fun. I love that. Especially when my little one and then all three of us sit there and then we forget about the movie. Love that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you what I'm working on. And first of all, isn't this photo box just beautiful? Yes, this is something that recently came from Michaels, and it is a gift from my lovely subscriber, Anne. She gave me a gift card to Michaels. And so, Anne, this is one of the things I got with my gift card, and so you'll see a couple other things coming up soon. But thank you, thank you. Whenever I see that, I think of you, Anne. So, yes, it just reminds me of how beautiful you are. Absolutely. Okay, so I will tell you that Michaels has some new photo boxes in a type of a collection, and there are a lot of florals. So like if you like florals and you're wanting to work on your photos this summer, definitely look at them. And I think they were on sale, 3 for $10 or 4 for $10, you know, when they have those sales. So, and I will say that these are getting to be a better grade than they had a couple years ago. So excited about that. So when I'm watching a movie or a ball game, I will absolutely use the lid of the photo box as my little bit of a tray or a workstation type thing when I'm sorting photos. You know how that is. Yes, 2 for 1. So I've been working on sorting this Disney trip, and this could be about any trip or any event where you have a lot of photos. So I wanted to show you a little bit, a peek into my process of how this works, because I will tell you what I was running into. I was starting to pull photos from this trip to do layouts, and I was getting them mixed up, and I was getting them here, getting them there. I'm like, okay, you need to stop. You need to get them in a photo box. You need to get them protected. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to first sort these as a level 1 organizing and then level 2 organizing, and I'll talk more about that. And so of course I already have a leftover envelope because I've already been playing with these, and I will just do this, and it says leftovers Disney this February 2018, and this will go in the front, or I'll just put it to the side for a minute, because this is where I keep my leftovers from this certain trip, and I've talked about that in other videos. So what I'm going to work on today is that I have this photo box. I'm going to work on this trip. Here's the 2 mega chunks that I have left over, and this is the pile I'm working on. So I will tell you my first step that I did, because basically this is about 3 steps. So the first step is that when it comes from your photo processor or your online processor, or if you're printing them yourself, I try to keep them in order as I printed them or as I took them, because I noticed that when you're getting photos back from an online processor or a photo lab, they don't come back in order in which you sent them. They're just all jumbled up. So I wanted them to be in somewhat, not perfect, somewhat of an order of how I sent them, because how I sent them was basically how I took them. So I wanted to kind of keep them in order, not that they'll be staying in order, but just so that I don't have sporadic photos here and there, you know what I mean? So that was my level 1, is getting them in order. I opened up the pockets. These were from Persnickety, and I put them in order as I sent them, you know, just a little bit of an order, so just helps a little bit. So then the second level of organizing when I'm sorting a big trip like this is that I just basically put them in a category by, now this is for Disney, so it's going to be basically like by the hotel and then by the parks and, you know, a few other things. So that's going to be level 2. And then level 3 organizing is where I'm going to take, say, like Magic Kingdom Main Street, and then I'll break it up even further if I have a lot of different type of photos. And I'll talk a little bit about that if you want to just sit down and take a load off and sit, you know, see how I'm going to work on this little bit of a work session of sorting photos. Okay, so I will move this just for a minute. And so as I'm doing this, this is a great thing to do when you're not in your space, because all you basically need is some scrap piece of paper or index cards, or if you already, I'm not planning layouts at this stage. This is just getting them organized. You see why this hobby is so involved, because just with sorting photos, there's different levels. Just as we go to organize our supplies, there's different levels. I mean, it just never ends, but I love it all. So in my box here, I have some scrap paper, because I'm always needing notes. I have to remember things, and of course a pen. That's all you need, okay? So that's why I like to take just something like this down to the rec room and have fun spending time with the family, but yet I'm doing something productive. Yes. Okay, so in my box here, of course, I have my envelope for leftovers because I've already been working on them. And that's what I was running into, because I was getting things. I had a box here, I had a box there, I had a packet there, and I just had to stop one day and say, you got to get this under control. Yes, okay. And so I'm just going to put on this index card here for a quick reference. I could have done that off camera, but I'm just going to put a Disney, and I'm putting this in big, and I'm putting this in the front, okay? Because I'm not going to label this just yet, because I just want to get them housed and contained, protected. That's my key word right now. I just want to get them protected, and then I just don't want to just throw them in there, because I am working from this for the load event, okay? So of course, you know, I have these organized somewhat, and I don't have, and I'm just using scrap paper for now until I figure out, you know, my level 3 organizing. There's no sense using an index card or tabbed index cards or envelopes until I figure out more into what I do, okay? And so this is a trip that basically I went, you know, to the parks by myself, so I'm not really planning layouts. It's just if I get some stories, I have no intention of scrapbooking this whole trip. So, you know, even though it took 1,000 photos, I don't plan on it. It's just getting some stories and things like that. So, of course, I just have the hotel and then Magic Kingdom and each one of the parks, things like that. Okay, so let's get cracking here. Yeah. And then also too, I have a piece of paper in the back here. If you can see, I have notes for myself, because as I was working on this, I'm like, I think I'm missing a packet. So I put that down, and then also too, make sure I printed the ones that was from my iPhone. And so when I take this amount of photos on a trip, I do not use my iPhone. I use my little Fuji, because my iPhone battery would not sustain a whole week of taking that many photos. So I've already addressed both of those. So, yay for me. About time I get something done on time. Okay, so let's, I'll show you what I'm doing here. So I have a packet here. So I'm just going to put these in piles. And I know I get a lot of questions about Disney, because Disney is it's a big deal, no matter what you're talking about. By the way, I just watched a video about Disney that basically they have their own government, and it's like their own little country, but they do have their own government and people who can vote and people who can't vote. I will have that link below. If you're a Disney lover, you need to watch that video. It was so informative. I was like, wow, never knew that, okay? And so then, I don't know what this group is. This is all Magic Kingdom, okay? So I have a group in my box, and it's called Magic Kingdom, okay? And then I have a Magic Kingdom, the train station, and then Magic Kingdom Parade, which that was huge. Main Street buildings, because I take a lot of pictures of the building and the castle, and then a couple of the different lands, okay? So I'm keeping that in mind as I'm sorting photos. And in level 2 for organizing, you could just get one whole group and put Magic Kingdom. But since I take more of that land than anything else, I'm kind of separating them out a little bit. Okay, and then there is oh my goodness, the Seven Dwarfs Mine. That was fun. That is a fun ride. I will tell you, if you want that ride, you need to do that very first thing in the morning. Do not get a fast pass. Do it first thing, okay? Get a fast pass for something else, okay? And then, of course, oh, some food. Yes, food. Okay, so now I know these are in a little bit of an order, because, and I hope I don't get a glare, because when it came back from the processor, I already did that. Okay, and there's Seven Dwarfs, and I have no idea. I think this has to do with the Little Mermaid. I don't know. Some of these, I was looking for hidden Mickeys. Okay, and so wherever this, that section with Belle and the meet and greet, there is a hidden Mickey on this little, Yeah, right there it is. There's a little hidden Mickey on that statue right there. So I was looking at all of those. Okay. So, and then this is Belle. So we're just going to put all of these in a group. There's a Little Mermaid. And some of these will just simply go in. I don't even know where that is. See, I don't know. I'll just stick them in. Whatever I think. There's a Little Mermaid. That was tough to do. I will tell you the truth. Okay? I cried through that whole ride because that was just something my little girl loved. She even had a birthday party one day, you know, dressed up as Ariel. You know how that works. Okay, so, you know, I thought there was no line and it was hot. And I thought, oh, I'll go for a ride, you know, look around. Bad idea. Bad idea. Okay, and there is Storybook Circus. And I just kind of skipped over that. Okay, and then this is just pictures. And then if I see where I'm getting a certain land, like there's Frontierland, my favorite land, I love that, okay? And then these are just pictures, okay? So we're just going to stick them, and there's part of a parade, and then there's hidden Mickeys. You know, you can find Mickey anywhere, okay? And then more, and this was a display there at the... what is that, the main hall? They had a photography and a camera display. That was, or exhibit. That was really fun. There's snacks. There's just minis. Okay. And I'll show you a really, really good photo drop. We've done this every time we went to Disney. Okay. Is to find in one of the stores either Mickey or Minnie, and they're great big displays. So have your child hold a Minnie or a Mickey and have the backdrop as nothing but Mickey and Minnie, and it just makes for a great photo op, okay? And you don't have to buy the stuffed animal. You're just using it as a photo prop. That's what I did many, many times. Yes, so I just saw them, took a picture. Okay, and then here's more of the grounds. I'm always taking pictures of buildings and clocks. And there's more Main Street. See, clocks, chandeliers, some of the most beautiful architecture, I think, at Magic Kingdom. Main Street gets overlooked because you have to look above. And this is in one of the, in Main Street to the left where they have all the shops. I guess this is talking about Disney. Sorry about that. They have this beautiful display. Have all this, there's a lot of symbolism in that mural, is what I wanted to say. And of course, there are people dancing. This couple here was just absolutely so dear to me. And I don't know if I have that photo, but I bought my little one a stuffed Pua while we were there. And so they posed with photos of Pua. And so then I sent them to her. It was just magical. Yes. Okay. So I have all of these now basically subcategorized. This is all Magic Kingdom. So what will I do? Well, okay, so I will see if I have anything of the castle because I already have a category of the castle. So I'm just coming here. I think there was a couple here of the castle. That's just Magic Kingdom Magic. Okay, so I have two of the castle. So I'll just stick them in my divider that says castle. Okay, and I had, let's see, I have Fantasyland, which is basically all of that. I had a Frontierland. So you see what I'm going to do? There's no Tomorrowland. Okay, Adventureland, I think that's all done. Okay, so basically this is all Fantasyland. Okay, other than this is Main Street. Okay, have to get a Mickey Rice Krispie treat. And this is Main Street. Okay, so I will find Magic Kingdom and I will find Main Street. And so I'm just using scrap piece of paper and I'm just writing on the back of them, okay? And so that is what I would do for that, okay? So instead of me sitting here and writing out each one of these, okay? But anything that was just Main Street, or I'm sorry, Magic Kingdom, okay? You know, basically, Magic Kingdom as a whole is what I wanted to say. All of these would just go in one group. Okay, and so then I will simply write up little tabs for them. Okay, that's just Magic, or that's Fantasyland. Okay, and so that's Fantasyland, and I will just put all of these in Fantasyland, just like one big pile, because I don't plan on doing individual layouts. Oh, this was Snow White. That was what I want to say. This is the food. This is the rides. I may just take all of these here. This is all Fantasyland. Okay, let me make sure I have everything. That's Main Street. Okay, and that's Main Street. Main Street. Yes. Okay, I wanted to show you something. Okay, and that's the castle. Oh, I'll talk about that in just a minute. And this was all Magic Kingdom. Okay, so you see how I have, this is basically my group from Fantasyland, okay, for a whole week, okay? So what I would simply do is I would probably just take the highlights of these photos and do a 2-page spread of the highlights, and that's it. I mean, that's how you do a quick page. Now, of course, this has to do with Disney, and we've been there many, many times. So this has to do with any event or trip or any place you go over and over and over, but you still take a lot of photos. It's okay not to scrap them all. I won't scrap all of these, okay? I won't. However, but I will keep the ones, say if I do a 2-page, you know, in review of Fantasyland, and whatever was left over, I would keep it, because during load and other things, you get story ideas, and sometimes you need a photo to tell a story. And this would be a good way to use them, is what I was trying to say. So that would just simply be called Magic Kingdom Fantasyland. Okay, this is just going Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom, yeah, honestly. And then this is what I wanted to show here. Okay, and I would make, and you see how I took all those different groups, and I'm only going to have about 6 tabs because I combined them. So now here is something I wanted to show. If you have something that's a castle, but then it was also about rope drop, you know, early in the morning. So since I have 3 of these, I could put one in Magic Kingdom group. I could put one in Main Street, and then if I wanted to put one in rope drop, you know, however you want to do that. So it's okay to break up your photos, unless you're doing your mega trip and you're doing it in order of how you went to the parks and things like that. Some people do trips in chronological order. I don't do that. I did that for our very first Disney trip, and I'm still working on that trip. Okay, so that's just a little bit of sorting. When it comes to sorting your photos, I would say my best advice is, especially when it's something big, just get them contained and put a very generic index card or a tab or something to just tell you in a quick manner what it is, okay? And then when you have time, then you can sit down and think a little bit more. And then I would say my biggest advice is to organize these how you want to scrapbook them. And at this point, there is absolutely no way I could sit here and put these in individual envelopes with layouts in mind, because I have no intention of doing layouts with all of these photos. I just don't. It's just not of interest to me, and probably because this trip wasn't the best for me. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't one of those trips to write home about. No. Okay. So that's just a little bit more of deep organizing I'm sorry, deep sorting. Okay. So I have a pocket here. So let's just crack this open. Okay. So again, what do we have here? Oh, Lord. Okay. So now we have Epcot here. Okay. So with Epcot, the easiest thing to do is just put one, do a header that says Epcot. And of course, with everything, I try to put the date. Okay. So Epcot 2/18. Okay. Then anything that doesn't fit in, or I already know one other thing, Epcot. Okay, and this was Festival of the Arts, okay? Because I already did some layouts about that, okay? And the reason I put the date on each one of these is because, now when I'm done with this, I certainly may do something a little bit better than scratch paper, but this is just, this is just the beginning, okay? And so, what was I saying? The reason I put the date on that is because if I wanted to grab that group, and I wanted to sit down and scrapbook that date's there. I don't have to think, because once you do something for many, many years, and then you go to scrapbook them, and especially for a lot of us that are not chronological, you kind of forget the year. And then I just did a Disney page, and I put the 17 on it, and as I was doing some editing, I'm like, that wasn't year 17, that was year 18. So, and that's why I do that. So then for Epcot, if there's a special event at Epcot, do a tab for it, but everything else, I would say go by country, okay? And then after you get the countries done, then you could do, within the countries, then you could do the rides and the food. That's a quick way to do it, okay? And so at this point and stage in my life, I'm trying to do things quick because I have too many things to do. So, of course, this is all France, okay? And I would simply, let me just show you about this. I will simply just do a little scratch piece of paper that says Epcot. and the country is France, and 218. Okay, now this is level 2 organizing. Okay, level 3 organizing would be go within that country of France, and then you could start planning some layouts if you wanted to, or you could start tabbing them, the rides, the food, whatever. Okay, so this is all just going to be France. So in each one of the countries, this is something I've done every time I've went to Disney. I've loved this. In Epcot, I always have the students, you know, that are coming in and they're doing their internships. I will ask a student in each country to pose for a photo. They really, really seem to enjoy that. And I did a 2-page layout one time where I did, you know, I did the kids from each country, and I did that on a 2-page. Maybe I'll do that soon. And that was really, I just really loved it. Okay, so again, this is all France. Okay. There's Belle. Yeah. And see, there's the Festival of the Arts. So since these are Festival of the Arts, would I keep them in France? And I'm going to, because I've already done a layout about the Festival of the Arts, okay? And then there's Morocco. Oh, could I even, how do I spell Morocco? Oh, I probably, Morocco. Okay, so if I spell that wrong, don't anybody come after me. Okay, Morocco. But this is just a very preliminary, this is the quick way of doing it, okay? So there's just all Morocco. Oh, just beautiful. Architect. Oh, just the displays. You see how I just go and take pictures of just what the displays are. See, just dear as can be. Absolutely. Okay. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Love that. They're just beautiful people. And there's a hidden Mickey. You see that hidden Mickey? Absolutely. Okay. Now I think these are all still Morocco. Okay. And see, now here are pictures of actual Epcot, the ball. So I would put that in Epcot. Okay, and I don't know where that's in, so that's going Festival of the Arts. Okay. Or, that's probably on the way. Okay, so now I want to say, do I want to pull these other ones out that were of Festival of the Arts? Ugh. I may, but I can tell you, I've already done a layout about that, but I'm sitting here thinking, where will I use those more? Will I use those in Morocco? Or will I use those as Festival of the Arts? And you can tell some other Disney stories. So there is another quick decision. Let me see if there was anything in France. And I'll go ahead and pull them out. Okay, now that looks like French. Okay. Oh, man, was that just delicious? Yes, that was delicious. Okay, I'm keeping that in France. Yeah, no, okay. Okay. Yes. Just wonderful, wonderful, talented people there. Okay, so there we go. Okay, I'll just do one more and then you get the idea of what I'm doing here. Yeah. So you see, I'm just using scratch paper and this is just level 2. Okay, I am just simply doing this in a fast manner to get these protected. But yet at the same time, if I want to scrapbook from this box, they're in somewhat of an order. Okay, but I don't have layouts planned and I don't have individual envelopes. No, because that's not the goal for this trip. Okay, so now we have Japan. Okay, and so then I will just put the same thing. Epcot, Japan, and you can see I don't even worry if my writing is half sloppy. No, I'm just getting them because I want to get this done because I want a scrapbook. Yes, okay. Oh, just beautiful. See? Oh, just gorgeous people. Okay, so there's another one. There's another one. I will just put on there, we have the USA, America. Okay, so then I would do the same thing with each one of the countries. I would just separate it each country. And then there was a special event at Epcot during that week, and that was the Festival of the Arts. And so you see I'm getting quite the pile. So why not go ahead and make a separate little tab section for that? Okay, so I will finish up this chunk. Oh, man. And I tell you what, for being Epcot in America, the Pavilion for America is very lackluster. I don't know why they can't get with the program. But honestly, you want to serve a hot dog, a funnel cake, and a brownie? Please, could you do something a little bit more for America? I feel so sorry for the people who come to visit the American Pavilion. There's nothing to write home about. It's very, I will tell you, there's wonderful people there. Yes. Oh, see, there's another. That was Living Festival of the Arts. You could get in that and take a photo. That was too fun. Okay. There just isn't enough there. Okay. Okay. Now we're getting into more. Okay. And see, this is just pictures of Epcot. And I will just stick that there. Okay, so I think we're getting into France. I think so. France is beautiful. Or is this Italy? Oh, I'd have to look at my map. And honestly, that is sometimes what I do when I have a Disney trip. I will get out my brochures so I can remember what lands I'm in, what countries I'm in, and the parks. That's what I do. Whenever I go on a trip, I always bring home extra brochures, and I keep them for the year, with the year, because I just can't remember. And things do change over the year. Okay, so that was just a little bit of a work session, how I'm working through sorting these photos and getting them in this box in a quick manner, putting the lid on and calling that project done, and then I would work on it later on if I wanted to, okay? But again, this is not a trip that I am planning out individual layouts. This is just simply a trip. I'm getting it somewhat organized, and when I have these different groups finalized, I would, and I'll show you, I have them right here. I have them already ready. I will absolutely use these tabs, okay, only because they're easier to see than these scrap pieces of paper, okay? So I will just put on the tab what they are, and then if I have any notes or ideas, but these will not go into individual envelopes as some of my other ready to scrap photos, because I don't need to do that because I don't have any specific layouts in mind. It's just when I want to play with them, honestly. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show today for our photo series, is a work session on organizing photos, especially when you have a big trip. Take it down into chunks. And the first chunk is that when you get them back from your processor, just like this, get them in somewhat of an order, put some notes on them, okay? And then a couple weeks later, when you have time, open up a packet at a time, get out a photo box and start, even if it's simply with some scrap paper, a scrap pad and a pen, start making notes. And then once that's in and you got everything in one box, then you can go, and then your level 3 would be breaking it down into, you know, getting some envelopes, planning some layouts, or just categorizing them a little bit more, so when you want to do layouts, they're in a little bit better order, okay? And then if you wanted to keep track of what layouts you have already done, you could do that, but that gets a little bit involved, okay? But we will be talking about that in our photo series coming up, how to track photos you've printed and layouts you have done. We will talk about that. But I think the next video I'm working on now is memorabilia and odd size photos. That's what we're going to talk about. So I'll come back to our next photo series segment. This was just a little bit of a an impromptu work session because someone asked me if I could show that. So there you go. And this works with any big event, not just Disney. It's just do those level 3s. Get it contained, get it categorized, and then level 3, do even more categorizing in in the manner in which you want to scrapbook them. Okay, so I hope that was a little bit helpful. Come back to RTS because you never know what we're going to do. Bye.